Good evening, good night, good morning. If you're watching this transmission, it is I, Mike Martins. Thank you for joining me, guys. And I got this article I want to share with you guys, and it's broken. It's a broken article. And I don't want to get all riled up on this one. Everyone's sleeping upstairs, so I don't want to make too much noise. $100 fine for sleeping on the streets in BC. Mayor defends bylaw changes. So you get fined now for being homeless. Okay? A lot of these people are living on the streets, and it's not like 1981 anymore, where you got the average Joe homeless guy, the wino, the town drunk. It's not that anymore. It's down on his luck, and either addicted to opioids that was pushed in from Asia, China to be exact, or basically can't afford to pay rent anymore because the housing crisis which we got bought out too. So the homeless situation isn't the same that it was back in the 80s. You got the town drunk, the town wino, the one guy that everyone throws a nickel or dime to every once in a while or makes him a sandwich. Those are the typicals that we grew up with and kind of sympathized with in their situation, right? But now it's gotten to a point of absolute dismay, disgust, and it's all greed, and it's all the almighty dollar. So when one person doesn't have, someone's got more. And then when you got two people on the street that don't have, that means someone's got a lot more. And when you have 10 homeless, that means someone's got a lot. It's because of the situation we're in right now. ABC mayor is pushing back against the criticism that the city proposed bylaws amendments that will target homeless people. In a decision on May 21st, Penticton City Council passed the first, second, and third readings of amendments to their Good Neighbor bylaw that would stop people from sitting or laying down on some city sidewalks. The amendment applied to sections of three streets, which the city says make up 17% of the downtown core. The amendment would also stop people from gathering outside vacant stores and would be in effect every year between May at the end of September. Violators could face a potential $100 fine. The final amendments will be voted on by council on June 4th. In a statement posted by the city's website on Thursday, Mayor John defended the potential additions to the bylaw. Downtown residents and businesses are tired of bad behavior and brazen crime they are witnessing, and they're demanding more solutions, he said in a statement. But you got to understand, this is a small town outside of Vancouver. It's about a 30-40 minute drive. The problem with this is it's not this town's fault. It's Vancouver shipping out their problems to other cities. I read a story about Abbotsford and Chilliwack and a couple of other little towns where people got discharged from a hospital in Vancouver or discharged from a hospital in Surrey, and they got severe mental issues and stuff, and they get taxied to these towns and dropped off. Basically get dropped off in these cities for those cities to figure it out. And it's been a big problem because the homelessness and the affordability issues in these cities are absolutely phenomenal. So what do? They push it east. They move the caravan east. Starts in Vancouver, affordability levels are out of control. Then it starts moving to Burnaby, and they keep pushing Surrey, keep pushing east. Chilliwack, Abbotsford, they keep moving towards the east and pushing to Hope, Since the council meeting, concerned residents have said they proposed amendments that will impact those without a home. That's possible, he wrote. If someone who is homeless is obstructing passage along one of the three designated sections of the downtown high-traffic sidewalks, they will likely be approached by bylaw officers and asked to move. But the move has faced intense criticism from local homeless advocates. Christine Shepard, who has run a Monday night meal program in downtown Penticton for several years, called the amendments discriminatory. It's a bylaw to target group of people, she told CTV News in Vancouver. They're specifically targeting the homeless people with mental illness and people who suffer from addiction. And you know what the bizarro thing is? And I was talking about this with my wife. In the early 80s, 90s, heck, maybe even into the very early 2000s, mental illness wasn't this rampant. It wasn't this so out there, you know? Did I live a very sheltered life, like growing up through high school and in my early 20s, that I didn't notice this? Or is it just becoming a new thing? You know, with the new drug addictions and people going on and off drugs and people getting vaccines. I don't know. You know, I'm just throwing all these things out there because in the 80s, you never saw this too much. You know, it was taken care of. People took care of their people, and it wasn't all about money back in the day, you know? Shepard says her meal program has faced harassment from residents in the days since the bylaw amendment were discussed. In one case, she says someone drove by and swore at the people having a meal. She says the amendments are a result of inaction from the city council. For years, Shepard argues the council let the situation deteriorate to a point where citizens started complaining. They've got their heads in the sand. They could have taken care of the issues long time ago, said the previous council could have dealt with it, she said. Instead of the proposed bylaw amendments, she calls for more comprehensive response to homelessness in the Okanagan City. So Okanagan City is huge with homeless issues, right? And it goes back to the key article that I read here. And the key article is right here. And if you link it to this, Douglas Todd, Aboriginals and Whites leaving Metro Vancouver in record numbers. And it goes back to this article. This is from 2016. A net total of 9,345 whites and 450 Indigenous people left Metro Vancouver for other parts of the province into the interior. So basically, that's 2016. 2017, even if it's 10, 12,000, and then let's say 20, and then 2018, we'll say another 10, 12,000. Another. It's going to start offsetting these smaller cities and putting them and raising the price of housing in those areas, just like it did in Kelowna and other big cities like Kamloops. There's just spiking in price because the people got completely bought out on the coast. I'm one of those statistics. I live in Merritt, BC, and I contributed to the house pricing going up here, you know, and but I want to raise a family too, right? Don't I have a right? I've invested into the infrastructure. I've paid my way all my life. We should have safe consumption sites. We should have needle buyback programs. We should have better access to rehab, she said, but we have none of those things. It's not the first time the bylaw has targeted people sleeping on the streets in the Okanagan. The city of Kelowna made it illegal to sleep or lie down on sidewalks 24/7 in 2016 after the first banning it during daytime hours. And there it is here. Kelowna bylaw makes sleeping on the street overnight illegal. So the city is approximately 127. 500 is dealing with an influx of homelessness, with more people needing to use shelters and their beds. Wow. So it's a lot of homelessness, and a lot of people made their way to Kelowna to make a better life, you know. And a lot of people may choose to use the shelter because they want to stay. They want to stay outside to do their own thing, he said. Some members of the city homeless community said the move will make them criminals, especially when shelters like In From the Cold are full. Yeah, this is very scary. I went to Kelowna. Check out my Kelowna video. It's at the end of this video. Check it out, guys. I really want you guys to take a look at it. Because
well, it is now illegal to sleep on the streets or sidewalks of Kelowna. City Council made the controversial decision today in an effort to deal with its homelessness problem. But as Ken Volgad reports, advocates are vowing to fight it.
Like many BC communities, Kelowna has a homelessness problem, and sometimes it's more than the shelters can handle.
And we're turning people away every night. It's very hard, especially knowing that they're going to be outside for the night.
People end up on downtown sidewalks, but a bylaw is taking aim at that. The city of Kelowna already has a bylaw in place making it an offense to lie around on sidewalks.
I think Florida has that, California. I don't know if California has that, but I don't know what states. There's a lot of states that actually make it illegal to sleep outside too. But I mean, sleeping outside in Canada with some of the harsh winters we get once in a while, I think it's, yeah, I think they need to start fixing these problems, because they're just letting them grow, and they're just moving the problems around to different towns. And a lot of people, like here, they leave for better, greener pastures, and sometimes a lot of people fall through the cracks and don't make it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Does your town have this bylaw? And if it does, tell me where you are. If you're in Australia, New Zealand, if you're in the United States, the UK, let me know. I'd like to know. Thanks for watching.